Blog Talk Radio.
Are you ready? The champ is here! It's just a man! Give me a hell yeah! What the rock is cooking? To be the man, you have to be the man! Big bubble pump! And you hooked up!
Falling!
Holla! In the air! Woo, woo, woo! Cup of coffee in the big tank.
Yeah, welcome to Working the Marks. And we got Durag Pat in the house. And unfortunately, the professor is in an undisclosed location having fun. What do you think about that, Pat?
I'll tell you something, okay? It's the weekend. I understand it's the summer. I understand people are off, okay?
Yeah.
I'm over here. I'm Peter Griffin, all right? I'm a family guy, spending time with the kids, hanging out, chilling, styling, profiling, doing the thing. Obviously, you can see I'm hanging out in my super expensive beach resort, okay? I'm
You look
on
like
vacation.
Teddy Long. You got the Teddy Long look going.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I understood that Uribe didn't want to show up to work, okay? And Lord knows where he is right now. He's probably walking around looking like some fucking Great Value Waylon Mercy for all we know. Point is that even with all of that,
yeah.
I still show up to work. I do my thing. As you can see, I'm hanging out in the living room of,
It's a lavish set of digs you got back there.
It's my vacation home. It's my vacation home. I've had it for some time. That piano in the background, I wrote some of the biggest hits ever for the child actors. And, it all kind of started there. A lot of the magic starts there. A lot of the magic starts with these hands. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
You can't see them because, they're trying to censor my hands because they think I'm doing things. This isn't a fake background or anything. I'm legitimately in the living room of my home. So
We don't want to mess with those hands, bro. These hands.
Certainly not. But the point is that, I showed up to work. Uribe's out fucking off somewhere. I'm here because I'm here for the people. I'm the star of the show. I'm Patty freaking Rican, man.
That's it.
All right? Actually, you know what? That name's taken. I'm going to be just Patty Rican because that's who I am.
Durag Pat is back.
Yeah. Obviously, I knew that because Uribe wasn't around, he's not going to put everybody in a sleeper hold today. I had to bring the absolute best that I could bring.
Yes.
And on a special occasion, on a beautiful summer day, on the eve of August,
Yes.
I decided to bring back Durag Pat. You're welcome, folks. You're welcome. And Uribe, I don't know what they're going to do. This is what happens when you give people creative control. This is what happens when you give people full creative control. They just think they could do whatever they want. So, but D, I'm glad you're with us. I'm glad.
Always
Look,
here.
I'm glad you finally got a starring spot on the show, man. It's good to see you,
It's about time, bro, but I don't mind being in the background. I don't mind it.
I love hearing your golden tones regardless. And it's just nice to see that face, that beautiful face.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? It's nice to see that face and that voice matching on this screen for these people.
Yeah.
That's what we do here at Work in the Marks. We bring the best. We bring the best, okay? We show up to work. We know at the end of the day, we're going to get a phone call from Vince McFamcast, and he's going to tell us we got to come and we got to show up and we got to do the show. And that's what we do. We show up and we do the show.
Exactly.
So, have fun, Uribe, wherever you are.
Drinking your diamonds and pearls.
Probably being detained by Interpol at some point. Who knows? And I don't mean the band, I mean the actual enforcement agency, Interpol, Probably being detained. He probably had his passport seized. I mean, the whole nine. Who knows? Who knows?
It might be the last time we see Uribe, the professor. I don't know, man, if he doesn't get out of this little predicament.
I mean, I'm sure that there's a very, very,
He greases palms. He'll grease some palms.
I mean, he could make a phone call or two. He's pretty well known. How many awards does he have now? 17?
I think so. He's the
17?
greatest Latino of Hudson County, or was it
He
New
set the
Jersey?
record or something. He's the greatest Latino in New Jersey. Okay? He's the greatest Latino in New Jersey. All right, trust us. He's got the awards to prove it.
What is it? What is it? He's the weapon of mass disruption.
Yes, he's the James Bond of his own mind.
I'm telling you right now, dude, he'd be a fucking perfect fucking fit in for James Bond.
I think he would be good for like a Univision James Bond, you know?
Univision James Bond.
You know what I'm saying? Like Fernando seducing the chicks, you know, like laying them down on the fucking couch.
He'll
and all
get
that
more
shit.
chicks than fucking than whatchamacallit, Captain Picard, bro. Not Captain Picard. Fucking what's his name?
Daniel Craig.
No, fucking what's his name? From Enterprise. Fucking Captain Kirk. He'd get more tail than Kirk.
Captain Kirk. Yeah, you know, I kind of see similarities, but Captain Kirk shows up to work. Uribe
Exactly.
didn't. And
you show up to work and you show up fucking looking fucking do-raggish, straight up thuggish wrestling bone that I don't need a clone because I'm going home to Raw where it really matters.
Wow. Yeah.
Let's start off with some Raw here, Patrick.
Well, I mean, look, before we go any further, I just want you to know that I hate cultural appropriation, okay? I'll have you know that I wear this do-rag in my free time, when I stretch, when I'm, you know, on my couch back there, and when I'm writing songs, you know, on that beautiful baby grand piano back there. But, you know, this isn't just a fad. This is who I am. This is not a uniform.
You did go through one of those grueling sessions with Marky back in the day where he put you through some grueling workout sessions.
I don't want to talk about that.
No? Okay.
I don't want to talk about that. That was like, I can't believe you even went there. Wow.
Put you through the ringer?
So, like, you remember Batman Begins? You remember,
Yes.
like, when he went to go train up on that fucking mountain, you know, with the fucking League of Shadows or whatever the fuck it was, and
Ra's al Ghul style?
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul, you know, fucking Liam Neeson. It's before he had a special set of skills, you know, and he went up there and he trained. That's what my time with Master Scum was like. I haven't seen Master Scum for years. Some people say that he forgot the ways of the scumbag and he retreated, kind of like Luke Skywalker, and you know.
He's the last scumbag.
He is the last scumbag, you know. So, you know, hey man, it is what I'm repping the scumbags.
There you go, Hudson County scum. It should have been Hudson County scumballs.
So Hudson County. So that, by the way, this is just they're trying to censor me. They want to censor me. This is not a fake background. But yeah, I got my scumbag shirt on. It's a pool team. Can you believe that? Can you believe that fucking band, which you were a member of at one point? You were a member.
Yes.
You played with us on our last show. Wow.
I would say last, and I'm gonna say it just because I was in it, the last and the greatest show.
I'll agree.
Yep.
I'll agree. That was a hell of a show. The fact that
somebody purposely kicked off the camera plug out of the wall so we couldn't get the last song. Don't know who it was, but somebody, purposely took the plug out of the camera.
You know what though? That's cool though, because I think that was more reserved for the people that were there. And
I'll never forget you swinging off the roof.
Yeah.
Or the ceiling, whatever you want to call it. You were swinging on the ceiling.
Yeah, it was. We had a blast, dude. That whole thing was great. Jumping out into the crowd. The crowd was amazing. A lot of interesting people. That was when I first met Mr. Darren Deicide. Who always seems to be a guy we bring up whenever we do stuff. And Jason, I believe it's Jason Morales. I think it's Uncle Jay. Uncle Jay. I think that's his band. Shout out to him, man. He's a hell of a musician, man. Drummer, singer, jack of all trades, master of all, and just a really, really talented dude. I think he comes out of Jersey City Studios. But
great night.
Great night, man. But anyways, what are we gonna talk about here? What are we gonna do? Because Uribe's not here. We don't have that rigid order that he brings, that Dan Rather style that he brings to the show. So we're calling this shit on the fly, folks. Okay?
Yeah,
we're calling it on the fucking fly.
We got an ending.
If anybody's got any suggestions, throw them in the fucking chat, man. Let's get a little interaction going. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't already subscribed to us, subscribe to us. Whatever you want to do.
Like
It's
and
all good.
subscribe, bro. Like and subscribe, man. Get the
Like
algorithms
and
going.
subscribe. Tell us to fuck ourselves. Whatever you want. It's all good. Throw it in the chat, folks. Let's go. We're winging it, D. You call.
We're winging it. All right, well, let's start off with some Raw action, bro. Start off some Raw. So what did you think about the, well, we got the Becky Lynch and Zoe Stark. I guess they're finally meeting up or something like that? Or is this like their first, you know, boom, boom, Godzilla King Kong style?
I think they've had matches before this, if I'm not mistaken. You know, Zoe Stark is getting a rub from Trish.
She's gorgeous, bro. She's gorgeous, man. I love Zoe Stark. She's gorgeous, bro.
Hey, man, that's the thing about WWE, and that's the thing about like the women that they have there. They have a flavor for everybody, man. They got somebody for everybody. It doesn't matter what you like because they understand that their fan base is wide. And as a business, why wouldn't you want to market your products to every person out there, every type of person out there, right?
Exactly.
You'd want to get it out to everybody. You know, I mean, everybody's a huge fan, like everything else. So, you know, she's a talented young lady. And
She's gorgeous.
yeah, and
again.
Hey, fucking hey, run with it. You know what I'm saying? Run with it. I don't know, man. I think that what she's doing with Trish, I think is cool. I think it's helping her out a lot. I think Trish is having like a fucking renaissance, man. Like, and you know, I gotta say, I wasn't the biggest fan of her and Lita when they came, you know, and they fucking did their spot at Mania and everything else.
I never cared about them even back then. Never cared about them.
I cared about them. I thought they were both good characters. Plus, you know, they're both attractive women. As a teenage boy in the Attitude Era,
I'm not gonna say Trish.
How am I gonna say I didn't like them? You know,
I'm not gonna say Trish isn't hot. She's beautiful. It's not my flavor of coffee. And Lita, man.
That's all good. Again, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty
Sky,
of it,
bro. Rebby Sky, dog. Rebby Sky.
Wow, Rebby. Okay, yeah. Hey, body. She's a body.
There you go.
So, that's crazy. Yo, but that's crazy though. That's fucking crazy that Matt Hardy's kids are half Puerto Rican.
He's got the Hardy Boys like locked down.
Yeah. He's got that shit trademarked.
He's got tag team and heavyweight, and I think Intercontinental coming.
Did you see that interaction between like Jim Cornette and fucking and Matt Hardy? Did you see that online? It was like really crazy. They kind of went at it back and forth. Jim Cornette had said something about Matt like having to kiss ass to AEW and to the EVPs, the Bucks, and all that stuff by saying, I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. I think the original comment was that somebody said something about the Bucks, and
God forbid.
And then he defended the Bucks and said that they were, you know, talented. And look, man, in fairness, they are talented at what they do. They are. They're good at what they do. They have a
They're
following.
One of the greatest tag teams of all time. One of the greatest.
I think so, man. I think they're going to be the kind of guys that aren't going to really get the respect they deserve until they're not around. Like, once they're not around, everybody's going to look back and be like, damn, they actually were a lot fucking better than what they are.
You know where they got to go to get that. And they know, too. Until they admit it.
You know what, though? But there's a lot of variables to consider. Number one, health. You know, are they as healthy as maybe they could be? Are they not? We don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Super kicking every freaking thing in the match, bro. So.
Yeah, but D, you've seen a lot of the stuff they've done, man. Those bumps catch up with you over time, man. You know, you're not going to be fucking 21 forever. You're not.
This is true.
You're not. You know. But you know, something happened there where Matt Hardy had stuck up for the Bucks. Then he said something about the toxic Jim Cornette cult, and then Jim Cornette said something to him, kind of implying that he's kissing ass, and it's a shame,
bro. Jim will come back at you.
Let me tell you something, man. That's one dude I don't think anybody wants to mess with. I mean, like, I would love to see him in a promo battle with like just about anybody. I mean, he's definitely one of the greatest talkers of all time.
I want to see him and Paul Heyman, bro, in a promo battle.
Him and Paul Heyman, shit. Him and Punk. Him and Roddy Piper. I mean, fucking like, you know, the list goes on and on. I mean, you could think of 1,000,001 fucking people.
I want to put Cornette and Hulk Hogan in one room and see what comes out.
Yeah. Man, Hogan's got some great do-rags too. But Jim Cornette had basically criticized Matt Hardy and called him, you know, an ass kisser. And, you know, he basically went at Matt about, you know, taking too many bumps and all this stuff and, you know, some of his personal issues. And then Brian Last came in and Brian Last said something. And Brian Last is the co-host of Jim Cornette and the Jim Cornette Experience. He's a good co-host. He's a good co-host. Yeah. He's a good co-host. He's, I like that, fun play on words. And Matt Hardy had said something back to him and called him Brian Least, and he was just like, "You've never contributed anything to the business." And then Brian Last starts to drag him out and be like, "Oh, your brother was the charismatic one. He carried you. Now your body's broken down. Blah blah blah."
Dude, cheap shots.
See, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, man. That for me personally, Brian Last. All respect to him, right? He's doing his thing within wrestling. He's working with Jim Cornette and stuff like that. You can't knock the hustle. Yeah. But I mean, you've never been between those ropes, dude. You never competed. You never
was he ever
wrestler.
Like a manager or something like that? What the hell is
he? From what I understand, he was a very rich fan, and when he was a kid
growing up, he's so like Cornette.
He's kind of like a
love you, Jim. Love you.
Oh no, I like Cornette too, but Brian Last I think was kind of just like a money guy, like a money mark kind of dude. Yeah. And he used to have like summer wrestlers come to like his birthday parties and his bar mitzvah and all that shit.
What is this, Japan?
Well, nah, man,
is he a sponsor?
But bro, that shit exists. I mean, I remember when I was on the indies, when I was working, like I remember seeing like people that would show up. And like there was like these two like it was like a father-son, right, like group, and they were big ECW fans. They come with the ECW titles, they'd wear the fucking belts and all that shit. And anytime any like big worker would like show up from ECW, WCW, the E, anywhere, these guys would go and they would, take them out to dinner and they would hang out with them so that, the kid would fucking buy them. So of course, workers are going to do that and they're going to collect a little fee and all that stuff. And,
if I had the money, I would do it.
Yeah. There's money marks like on the indies. There's people that do that, It's my understanding Tony Khan was kind of the same way when he was younger, when he used to go to ECW. Like, he would like pay to hang out with the wrestlers essentially.
So he probably knows Paul Heyman personally.
Of course he does. I'm sure he does. I'm sure Heyman might have met him at some point. But he knows who he is. They all know who they are. I mean, come on, man.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Say it, Pat. Who is he? Everybody knows.
Yeah. He's Paul Heyman, bro. He's Paul fucking Heyman. And, well, we know who the other guy is. The other guy is the Snowman. But, again, I think... I respect Brian Last for what he's done. I respect that he's doing his media thing. I respect that he's got Jim Cornette, all that stuff. That's cool. But I mean, again, you're going at a guy who broke his body to entertain people, was also a part of one of the best and most influential tag teams of all time. And in his own right was a very good character who got over big on many different occasions.
He was in the greatest tag team match of WrestleMania of all time.
That's a tough one to argue. That's a real tough one to argue, man. And you know what, man? Like, not because the match itself was just good, but I mean the influence that it had on like the rest of the business moving forward. Yeah. So it's, I don't know, man. I just don't appreciate when people who've never wrestled criticize wrestlers for having demons, for breaking their bodies for your fucking entertainment, and whether he was entertained by them or not. Which he's probably in the minority in that case. He probably was, and he likes a different type of wrestling.
Oh, he's not a Hardy Boy, Mark?
Well, the Hardys are kind of more in that Shawn Michaels Rockers vein. You know what I'm saying? Rock and Roll Express vein. He's probably a Midnight Express fan. He's probably a Heart Foundation fan. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. That's cool.
A solid tag team.
Yeah, no nonsense. Fucking like stiff, boring wrestlers with not too much personality. The Midnight Express did have personality, yes. But and so did Anvil. But I think that for somebody to say something like that about a guy who broke his body for the business, who went through ups and downs, who's still here, okay, and who is working. Not just to occupy a spot, not just to collect a fucking check, but to try and help younger wrestlers and try and help get them over. Like, who are you to fucking knock him? And I just didn't think that type of stuff was cool.
No. I don't agree with it either.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you going to talk to somebody like that, who's done things in the business, who's like, again, he's memorable. Hardy Boys could come out to that fucking theme song tomorrow night. All right, on fucking Raw, and the place would fucking go nuts and pop.
Hardy Boys can come down your block with that theme song, and the place would erupt.
Yeah, bro. Come on, man. That's crazy. It's like the fucking Dudleys. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, I think a lot of that comes with this mark culture, with other people that are kind of outsiders to the business, that never actually paid dues, that never actually learned anything about the fucking business, coming into the business and not having respect for people who worked in the business, who accomplished things in the business, and more importantly, were influential to an entire generation of people.
Yeah.
You know?
You know who else is paying their dues, Pat?
Who?
Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio is paying his dues. He's got the North American title from NXT. And he goes up against the tag team champions. Well, one half, he goes up against Sami Zayn.
Yep. Big win. First of all, Dominic Mysterio is the most dangerous man in professional wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it. He's the most dangerous man in the business.
Underrated.
Okay. If
Second
I was
best heel.
Behind Roman, yes.
Right,
behind Roman, yes. But if I was walking down a dark street or a dark alley and Dominic Mysterio was on the other end, if I don't pee my pants, I'm fucking running out of there. I'm sprinting. I'm talking about full Olympic sprint.
Mommy's right behind him.
That's not the worst part. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get through him to get to her. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through hell to get to heaven. You feel me?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's incredible that we've seen this kid grow into what he's become, and he just keeps getting better and better and better and better and better and better.
Less than 5 years?
Yeah, man. It's amazing. It's amazing. Like, you think back to that turn at Clash at the Castle, right? Mm-hmm. You think back to that. Everything that was kind of built up into it, you know? And it kind of started out a little blasé, but man, like, it just fucking got so good. And more importantly, I think he seems to have a very good attitude. And he seems to have a great understanding for what he's doing, the position that he's in. He seems like he listens. He's a young guy who listens.
He's got one of the greatest people in his fucking ears, bro. His father.
His father, Edge, Triple H, HBK now. You know what I'm saying? All these people, all these great people, and Priest too, and Finn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People who have accomplished a lot of stuff. I'm sure Rhea even to some extent, man. All of these people. He's got such a great group of people to fucking work with, to help him grow. And man, he's growing right before our eyes, and he's becoming a fucking amazing talent. He's one of the highlights of the show for me, man. Bar none.
Yeah.
Bar none.
He picked up the win against Sami Zayn.
Yeah, which that was great. I love the way they did it. Sammy didn't look weak in it at all. He looked fantastic. And, you know, you keep it going for Dom. You're going to keep this thing interesting. It's fucking great, man. It's fucking great. It's good stuff. I like the fact that they're using some of the main roster talent to go to developmental, to go to NXT.
I like that. I love that.
To help kind of, you know, raise the profile. I think they got about a 700,000 rating this past week, which fucking pretty damn good. Probably better than Collision. I don't know about Dynamite, you know, but it might be in the same ballpark. But
the WWE has to start doing that, bro, because it's like, yo, it's a part of your company. Mix it up, man. You know, like that's some good flavors right there.
Well, that yes, and I think the biggest thing is that you're giving your talent there in developmental an opportunity to work with main roster players. And that's the biggest thing.
See,
that's
even
shout out to Rocky Rock. Shout out to Rocky Rock.
Rocky Rock she loves Dominic Mysterio. She loves Dominic Mysterio.
I'm sure if she saw him, she would. You know what I'm saying? She appreciates a good mullet. But shout out to Rocky Rock. Shout out to WTF WTF Productions. Got a big show coming up on August 26th. We're going to be plugging it on the show. We're really, really, really looking forward to bringing you that. The Child Actors will be there among some other bands. But as soon as we get the full list and the full flyer and everything ready, we're going to be bringing it to you here. And then we got some other shows lined up as well. So, you know, give her a follow, give her a shout out. She's one of the only people out here in Hudson County, and I think in North Jersey as a whole, that's actually recording videos of bands, okay? That's providing content to a lot of these bands. So give her a follow if you haven't already. And if you're in a band, check her out, man. She can come on out. She can shoot for you. She's very affordable with her prices. You know, just saying, you know, considering the services she's providing. And give her a shout out and give her a check, you know? All right? But yeah, man, getting back to Dom, Dom is just, you know, the kid's on fire. He's doing great stuff. That whole stable is doing great. Everything about them is fantastic.
All for
and yeah, man, it's Sammy and Kevin too, man. I mean, you know, again, you have a section of the Mark fan base that's going to be disenchanted with everything. They're going to have to find something to complain about regularly. I just genuinely think that there's people out there that really just thrive on being fucking miserable, like utterly fucking miserable, even about things that they fucking like. For me, all this stuff's been great. Sammy and Kevin are still great. The Judgment Day, they're flying high.
Kevin's hurt right now. I heard Kevin got legit hurt.
Yeah. Anytime, Rock.
They might be giving up those titles.
Well, we'll see. I don't think it's gonna be anything too long. Like Liv, I think is another one. She caught an injury as well, and I think they're keeping her off for a little bit. Whether she's available for SummerSlam, I'm unsure.
Alexa caught a pregnancy.
Wow. Yeah. Congratulations to her though. And who's her husband? She was married to some pop singer.
His name is Lucky, some lucky fucker, because he's one lucky motherfucker.
Yeah. I think he's Latino or something. He's got a Latino last name.
All these hot wrestling chicks pick up J Browns.
It's worth the Google. Hold on.
They pick up J Browns, dude. Show me a wrestling chick. Show me a wrestling female who has a hot ass fucking husband. Besides mommy.
Oh, okay. She's married to Ryan Cabrera. Yeah, I don't think she had a baby, but she's pregnant. Yeah,
she's about to fucking. She's about
Ryan
to pop.
Cabrera. Yeah, he was like some pop star back in the fucking day. So hey,
Back
man.
in the day.
You know, it's all good, man. Hey, he's probably still making money. He's probably still making money.
Look at Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus' husband. Trish Stratus.
What?
Look at her husband, bro. He's like a J Brown. He's like a fucking some dude.
He's doing something right if he landed her. So whatever it is.
He got the gift of the gab, dog.
Maybe.
But you know what, man? You know who don't got a gift of the gab?
Who?
Bronson Reed, bro. Because I heard his promo. When the hell was he British?
Dude, I think he's Australian or from New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken.
Some shit, man. But he needs to fucking get a tough guy tone, bro. Because I'm just like, what? Like,
well,
tough.
I think he's trying to play the whole like, underground
I'm the
crime
big
ring
guy.
boss, like. But I like.
Yeah,
seriously. Yeah, dead ass. I think that's the gimmick that he's trying to do. I mean, you look at the vignettes. You look at the stuff, like he's rocking a suit, he's like, I think they did something where he's like eating food or something like at some restaurant,
He's like a small version of fucking, what was his name, bro? The dancing dude. The dinosaur chicks or whatever.
Oh, Funkasaurus?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's like a mini version of that dude. At least that dude, you can believe him when he talk, he'd kick your ass.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm kind of like, I'm waiting to see where this goes. I think he's talented, though, man. I think he's a good worker,
He's beefing with fucking Ciampa.
That's good, though.
Ciampa's heel now? Ciampa turned heel and Bronson's a good guy?
No. Bronson's heel, man. Bronson's totally heel. Like, he's, the shit he's been doing, the people he's been working, he's totally, because Ciampa's a face.
Yeah.
Ciampa's totally face. He worked Miz.
He took Ciampa out. Took him out to lunch in that show.
Well, I'd like to see where they go with him. I enjoy Bronson Reed. I think he's a talented dude. And just like anything else, it's just character development and kind of figuring out where to go with it.
I don't know, man. I thought it was going to be like a bodyguards kind of thing, bro, but I don't know. Well, we got superstars on the next one, bro. We got superstars. We got the podcasting superstar, Logan Paul. He agrees to fight Ricochet.
Yep.
He agreed to fight Ricochet in a match at SummerSlam.
So he came out. Ricochet was cutting a promo, and I gotta say, man, I mean, Ricochet is not really. He's not really
Black Panther now, because now him and fucking whatchamacallit wearing the Black Panther necklace.
I think that's just I think that's a little homage, and stuff like that. MVP you talking about?
Yeah, him and MVP are coming. They all got the Black Panther gear.
That's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? I dig it. I gotta say with Ricochet, I think he's been becoming a little bit more confident. I think as a speaker, it seems. He's always been decent when it comes to promos, but I think like there was a lot of emotion you can see, and like I don't know, man. There's definitely a little something different to him, I think, when he talks now. And all in all, man, I've been digging what he's doing. Logan Paul, the way he came out, he fucking cheap shotted him, did the whole fucking camera thing.
I'm feeling Logan Paul, man. I'm not feeling Ricochet.
I'm feeling this match, and I like Logan Paul. I think he's a very talented dude. I think he's got a good following. I like how divided people are on him. You know,
People hate him, dude. I'm like, yo, he's a great wrestler.
But it's awesome. You need that stuff. He's the way he's been able to pick things up, the way he's been able to work. It's really, really impressive, dude. And it seems like he's a dude who respects the business, number one, and you know, who's capable of doing the basics and understands what the business is about. And the dude's a heat magnet, you know. And Ricochet, he's phenomenal, man. He's an amazing talent in ring as a flyer.
There's only one phenomenal guy. There's only one phenomenal guy, Do-Rag Pat.
Oh well, you talk about AJ.
Yes,
you talk about AJ.
Phenomenal guy.
Well, there might be a phenomenal guy, but there's only one phenom. Okay,
Ooh,
you
that's
know,
a good one. Touche.
Yeah. But you know, I think Ricochet is just so good, man. He's so fun to watch. He's such a great bumper. The dude is just talented. And I'll say it right now, and y'all are welcome to drop your comments in on the bottom if you think otherwise.
Folks.
I think he's better than Will Ospreay. I think he's a better wrestler than Will Ospreay. He could do everything Will Ospreay could fucking do. Okay? He
Will
could do
Ospreay
everything Will Ospreay could do.
He's like the carbon copy of him.
He's talented. I like Will Ospreay. Don't get me wrong, but I think Ricochet is more talented. I'm sorry.
Will Ospreay chose the wrong place to hang out.
I think he chose what's best for him. You know what I'm saying? In his life right now. But I mean, would I like to see him in the East? Sure, at some point, I think he could be there because
that's best for business, bro, for his pockets.
Yeah. But I mean, he's doing his thing. He's earning his stripes. He's getting to the point where he feels whatever, and you know, he's growing. He's maturing. His body's filling out more. He's looking a lot better. But I definitely think Ricochet even has a better physique too, man. Ricochet's more muscular. You know, Ricochet looks the part a little bit more, I would say. Ospreay is becoming a better talker. I'll say that much, man. Like he's definitely becoming a better talker. But Ricochet showed some nice skill there. I love the spot with him to set up the match. I love how he keeps like nipping up, popping out, flipping over the top, you know, like doing all this great superhero type shit to get, you know, to like psych out Logan Paul. I'm actually really looking forward to that match.
He's like Kofi Kingston to the next level.
Sure. Okay, I'll take that. You know, I just think that if you notice, for like a really, really long time, the E has always had those very exciting high flyers. Whether it was, you know, Evan Bourne, Matt Sydal, Rey Mysterio, you know, just one of these marquee guys that you knew was going to do cool shit. What's his name? Pac, when he was there, when he was Neville, you know, like. You always have these guys that
looks
do
like
these.
a fucking elf.
He looks like a serious elf, dude. He's another one, man. He's got some size to him. That boy is big, man. But he could go. He's one of the best in the world, man. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, you know. But yeah, man. I enjoyed the segment. I thought it was really cool, and I'm really looking forward to the match at SummerSlam between them.
Yeah. Next up, man, we got Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Went against Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews trying to, you know, revamp himself back up again. I guess he's not the Black Panther no more. You know, he's back to being old school Crews.
Yeah, I dug that gimmick. I thought it was kind of cool, especially with the way he cut his first promo. You know, kind of like talking about Americans. Was he finding his heritage or something like that, or it was something like that. But like, I like that he had the fake accent, you know, and I like the fact that he was kind of like you know, shitting on Americans, and like, I thought it was cool. I thought it was a good gimmick. I thought it could have gone places. But you know, it is what it is. He's a very talented guy. Just for whatever reason, I don't know, nothing's really gotten over too much with him, and it's kind of a shame. I thought he had a good match with Priest. Priest is just, you know, doing really great right now. Yeah, man.
Priest is on a run, bro. You're not stopping that
Boricua train. Representing, Damian Priest. New Yorican representing, too. You're not nice to see that.
Train, bro. Show me a Puerto Rican besides fucking Mark Anthony that made it big out of Puerto Rico.
There's a lot of them. Roberto Clemente.
No, I'm just saying, but a lot of Puerto Ricans who made it big were born in America. A lot of them, bro.
I mean, if we want to get into historical figures, then that's a whole other ball of wax. But
I'm just saying, we don't have to talk about that. That's not a part of this. But
I mean,
just
but
saying.
anyway, yeah, just sidebar. But okay, all right, sure, we'll run with that one. Yeah, man, he's just doing fantastic. Senor Money in the Bank, and I've really been enjoying his stuff. I've been enjoying him as part of the Judgment Day, and just
they
the work
don't need
he's
a
been
leader,
doing
bro. They're good as a 4-piece gimmick. They don't need a boss.
I think so. I kind of really hope that Finn wins the title because I think that would just add another interesting element to that faction, and I think that the tension between like Priest and Finn would be really fun and really cool to watch.
Well, you know, Seth has been stated on I heard on another podcast, Wrestling Soup. You know, shout out to them out there, the Wrestling Soup guys. Kevin Castle, who runs the Lucky 13 division of booking bands and stuff, and you got Anthony Missionary Thomas and Joseph E. Numbers. From what
shout out to Lucky 13s, man. Great fucking
yeah.
venue, man. Great venue. Played there before with the Child Actors. Chaoticians played out there. Locaine, I Destroyer. A lot of the bands that we've played with and we know and we're friends with, and definitely one of the best metal venue out there.
Yes, Jeff and Melody would very appreciate that. Well, what am I talking about? They appreciate that, man. They're fucking because they know it.
Yeah.
But we got next match. Ludwig Kaiser versus Drew McIntyre. Who's this? This is one of the IC champs, little side piece guys.
Yeah. I think they're kind of building towards that match. I really honestly didn't even check this one out. But I did see some of the clips and some of the highlights in regards to it, and obviously they're building towards Gunther and Drew.
Gunther already passed.
It's gonna be good.
He already passed. Whatchamacallit? He already passed. Where'd I have that IC thing? He passed the Macho Man up.
Oh yeah.
Gunther passed the Macho Man, and I think right about now he's probably passed up. What's his name? Oh God, from the 70s, man. What the hell was his name?
Pedro Morales.
Yeah, I think it's Pedro.
Yeah, another Puerto Rican.
I think he's passed up Pedro, and next up is Honky Tonk Dog.
He's got a long sideburns.
If he makes it up to Mania, bro, he killed Honky Tonk.
He's got a long sideburns and his hair slicked back. He's coming to your town in a pink Cadillac. He's a honky tonk man.
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 He's a honky tonk man. I'm cool. I'm cocky. I'm bad.
Greatest fucking intro of all time.
Dude.
Greatest intro of all time.
Love that fucking theme song. Wow, it's great though. There's a lot of rumors going out there. Billy Body had confirmed not that long ago that within WWE internally they want to keep this title on Gunther so that they can have him break Honky Tonk Man's record, because Triple H is not a fan of the Honky Tonk Man. He thinks he's a slime ball, and he feels that kind of like is just crummy.
Retract back. Seth is supposed to be gonna go into surgery. He's got a lot of injuries he's got to fucking take care of.
Oh yeah. I had seen that. I had seen that out there. And
so he might lose the belt.
I don't know, man. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But either way, they've created a lot of intrigue, and I think that they've done something very cool with this. And they've taken, what seems to be a very flat series to some marks out there, and they've kind of made it a little bit interesting. That whole segment, dude, with Seth, like later on in the show, that was so good. That was so good.
They're gonna miss Seth when he's gone, bro. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
they're gonna miss that. Oh shit. Telling you.
It's all good shit, but that's good though, man, because you know what? In the long run, man, it's gonna help him out when he comes back. And I think it's gonna be great stuff. Speaking of Seth actually recently made some wrestling news, by declaring himself to be the most stylish wrestler of all time.
I agree with him.
He was recently
100%.
a guest on Complex. I think so too. He was recently a guest on Complex's sneaker shopping with Joe LaPuma, and when asked if he's ever thought about having custom shoes for his ring gear, Rollins puts over his no bull boots and how many color options they have. So he basically talked about No Bull and how good their gear is and the way that they're able to provide it for him. But he does believe that he is in fact the most stylish wrestler of all time. When he was asked where he puts himself in an all-time list of all-time stylish wrestlers, Rollins said he's number one. He said, "Oh, number one, no question." Rollins said. Now, 3 years ago, might have had a different answer for you. I might have said something like I didn't care, but no, I'm number one, man. I'm as good as it gets, especially on the men's side.
I tell you, he's up there with Macho Man.
It's hard to argue with him, D. It's kind of hard to argue with him. I mean,
He's sexy, bro. He's sexy. He's sexy, bro.
He's
no homo.
You know what?
No homo, man. He's sexy.
He's gotten to the point now where his outfits are like a part of like a highlight of the show. It's like Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania.
You can roll his outfit out on a dummy, and he'll get a big pop.
Absolutely, and he'll get that chant going too. So
yeah,
I think that's pretty spot on. What else do we got here on Raw? Let's start breezing through these a little bit more because I know we're getting a little long in the tooth here with the conversation.
Nah. Well, that's how we do. We said we were going to be shooting the shit, man.
I'm with it.
You know, we got that. We got that segment. We got the final segment and final word. I guess they closed Raw out. You know what?
Are you talking about the Seth segment?
Yeah.
Well, that segment. Okay, so here's the biggest thing about the Seth segment. For me, the Seth segment was great because they did a wonderful job setting up their matchup. I love the fluidity of everything, man. Like they had the contract signing and all this stuff, and then Seth gets jumped by the Judgment Day. He tries to fight him off. Then Priest hits the South of Heaven. Then Dom hits the frog splash. Finn hits the stomp. The pose over him. I mean everything. Just the promos, the confidence, all this stuff. I just thought again, it's just them being able to take what they have and a feud that maybe to some people might kind of be a little recycled or a little overdone, and they just injected so much fresh excitement and so much fluidity to it, and I think it's really fucking awesome. And again, another one of the matches that I'm really looking forward to at the show too.
We got 3 people in the chat right here. If anybody got any questions for Patty Durag Rican over here, bro, the star of the show, just throw it in the chat, bro. We'll
anything you want to throw in there.
Anything, bro.
Anything. My shoe size. I do wear a 7 5/8 fitted hat. Okay.
I heard the shoe size is 12, but that's just a rumor. 12s.
No comment.
No comments.
But yeah, all in all, I thought Raw was a really solid show. They continue to deliver. They're
delivering bees.
Man, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It doesn't have to like be a stacked card, every fucking week. As long as they continue to advance their long-term stories and build towards the pay-per-views and have quality matches with the performers that they have where people aren't killing themselves or bleeding everywhere, you're going to accomplish your goals. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's a different target audience than what AEW is or a lot of the other companies out there. So,
all right, let's roll into SmackDown here, bro. We got a Jey Uso kicking off SmackDown with a little Roman Reigns disruption, mass disruption.
I like it, man. Man, you picked up the intensity in your voice there. I can hear the excitement in your voice. I can see it in your eyes.
SmackDown's my show now, man.
Well, it's the best show in wrestling, I would say. It really
Since
The
Rock took it over in the fucking beginning, The Rock made this a great show.
Rock slaying the SmackDown.
Yes.
Jey Uso, man, just doing great stuff. That whole bloodline angle, all that shit's must-see TV. Yeah. It's just really good
I bet
shit.
you AEW probably got it on the Tron in the back.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that they all watch each other. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that there's people in the E that tune into AEW. I mean, they got a lot of friends that work there and vice versa. So family, loved ones, all that other stuff. So, I'm not surprised. But I like the hype. I like the build. Jay is just so fucking talented, man. I love his
gold grills. You got the gold grills now on the bottom.
Yeah, I like the authenticity to the gimmick, man. You know what I'm saying? I like the authenticity to the gimmick. It's, this whole bloodline angle. I feel like it's like a fucking HBO series. It's like
it's like fucking The Sopranos, dude. I'm telling you.
It's like The Sopranos meets like I don't know, like Sons of Anarchy or something, or the Mayans or some shit. It's like some crazy Aboriginal fucking family mafia beef. You know what I'm saying? But it's just so compelling, so very well done. Roman, I mean, like he just guy's just amazing. Heyman's amazing. Heyman's facials, man. Heyman's looks. I was watching this stuff with my kids, and my kids are like, my son's just he's appalled by Paul Heyman. He's just
really?
appalled. He thinks
At his age?
Oh, he thinks Paul Heyman's slime. He's just like, I don't like him, Dad.
Man, he knows young, bro.
It's really, really, really fucking funny, man.
Oh, hold up, Pat. I gotta pull off the screen right here, man. It's all you right here. Give me
Yeah,
a couple
no
seconds.
problemo. But you know, Paul Heyman, man, I think he's a big part of that angle. He's a big part of that is an amazing picture, by the way. He's just a big part of the angle. The way his facials get a lot of this stuff over. I mean, this bloodline thing, it's just fantastic. And Roman, the Usos, Solo, Heyman. I mean, it's must-see TV, you know. Even if you are a wrestling person, which there's wrestling people that are out there that are watching this program as well, people that are colliders or kaboomers, and they enjoy a lot of, you know, just professional wrestling without any of the entertainment gimmicks. Even you can watch this stuff and admit that it's fantastic, and it's definitely must-see TV. More and more as we watch it. Speaking of Dynamite and Collision as well, you know, both are good shows for what they're trying to do. For me personally, I'm not a fan. I don't really feel like there's a whole heck of a lot of continuity. But I admire the talent that go out there and they perform, because, you know, it certainly takes a lot of guts to be able to do that. But between both shows, I would have to say, you know, Collision's a little bit more of an exciting program to watch, and a little bit more of a classic wrestling-centric program. So, you know, it's good. Look, regardless of what you like out there, folks, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, NXT, New Japan, the Indies, death matches, AEW, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan, you know? If somebody would have gone back in time to tell me in 1997 that this is what everything was going to be like, that I was going to be able to watch wrestling from the other side of the world without a VHS tape at the touch of my fingers, just by going on my computer, I would have loved it. I would have freaked out. You know, I would have been happy. So I think we as wrestling fans, you know, it's good that you pick, you choose, you find what you like. It's cool that there's so many different flavors to choose from. But out of all the flavors to choose from, folks, don't pick salty. All right? Don't pick salty. It would be nice to see some interaction with some people here. If you're on here giving us a look, please feel free to drop a message. You know, we'd love to have somebody be able to talk here and maybe give us a little topic and stuff like that. But maybe I can go over a little bit of the news that we got. Speaking of AEW, AEW Dynamite is actually about to have their 200th episode this Wednesday coming up on TNT. And they have some matches already promoted as of now. In an Anything Goes match, they have Jon Moxley versus Penta Cero Miedo, versus Trent Beretta. They also have Chris Jericho and Konosuke Takeshita versus Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. The FTW champ Jack Perry and Jerry Lynn will have a face-to-face. And ROH World Tag Team Championship, Aussie Open, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher versus Commander y el Hijo del Vikingo. And what I believe will probably be the main event is the AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm defending her title against Hikaru Shida. That's actually going to be pretty good. And I think they had also announced that CM Punk will be appearing on this as well, which we'll be talking about a little bit later on. But pretty interesting to see that they have about 200 episodes now. And again, folks, you know, it doesn't matter what you like. You know, if you like pro wrestling, you like lucha libre, you like death matches, you like anything, you like Shikara, you like Kaiju Big Battle, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. You can access all the stuff that you want. And it's certainly really fucking cool that we can find so much. And, you know, just try and keep a little bit of that toxicity out of it, folks. You know, even if you don't like certain things, I don't like certain things, but I'm not going to be fucking toxic about it like some of the people out there.
Hell no. You know
D,
what, man? I just took care of some toxic business right here, bro. And if I didn't take care of that, you know, would have been very bad, man.
Yeah. It would have turned into smell-o-vision, and I'm glad
also,
that
I just want to say a shout out to my homie Mario81 from Pigs Radio. He was hanging out. He was working for a lucha program last night. He was doing the audio and visual work for them. He was hanging out with Sabu and the boys.
Sabu, man, yeah,
Yep.
Sabu. I've shared a locker room with Sabu, and
He was Pat. They were passing a couple white sticks back and forth to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's. I remember seeing Sabu doing that on the locker room, and then everybody getting booted out, and he had like chunks of table like all over his back and stuff. It was pretty funny. It's interesting you mentioned like audio and visual stuff for pro wrestling and for events. Buddy of mine, O'Neal Rodriguez, he's a guy who's been doing that for a while. He's actually, I think, out on tour with one of his bands. But shout out to O'Neal, a guy that's been working with GCW, guys been working with a variety of independent companies for quite some time, providing video and audio and visual services. So yeah,
I think I'm not too sure. Don't quote me. I think GCW was trying to go out the West Coast, and my boy was a little too pricey for them.
Well, it's my understanding that O'Neal travels with them a lot, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that was the type of thing, or maybe they were just trying to do that out there. I know he did a lot of the Las Vegas shows and stuff like that. So,
but if you want the best, you got to go Mario 81 from Pigs Radio, bro.
Or O'Neal. I mean, either one. Maybe they could fight inside a steel cage to see who has the
East
best
Coast, West Coast battle.
AV. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're just fucking making like gangster rappers. But speaking of gangster rappers and mafia, we were talking about the Usos when you left us before you went to go make your bowel movement. And,
and mind you, in the Bleacher Report, this Jey Uso and fucking Roman segment got an A.
Well, I mean, there's not really much that isn't getting an A that they're doing. You know what I mean? All this stuff is fantastic. And it's crazy because I think there's people out there that are waiting for it to fall off a cliff. I think there's people that are out there that are just like, man, it's going to suck. It's going to this, it's going to that. No, man.
Those damn Luke AEW people.
Well, I think even Luke is objective enough to understand that this stuff's good. But Luke has his taste, and that's good, yo. But Luke's also not a fucking player hater. Luke's not gonna.
Shout out to Luke. Scumbag.
Shout out to Luke, fellow scumbag, fellow Luke. We got T-shirts. We're a fucking pool team, huh?
Get your cue stick ready, Luke.
He's actually a pretty good pool player.
Put your axe down and get your cue stick.
Yeah. I actually played against them over at Bobby D's back in the day. Good times there.
Ooh.
But I mean, there's really not much that they're doing with this angle that isn't really succeeding. And again, people are just waiting for it to fall off a cliff. My big thing that I'm going to say now is that I think ultimately when we get the payoff with Roman, people are still going to complain about that. People are still going to bitch about that endlessly,
You want to hear something I heard today, bro? And I heard it on the shout out to the DWO podcast, Dad World Order podcast. They one of the guys on there had a great idea that Jay beats that Jay beats Roman, right? And then Damian comes and I think I was saying Damian comes and Damian beats Jay.
I just figured you mentioned DWO, Dad World Order. I had to get a hug in real quick for my daughter, so had to do the dad
World
thing.
Order, bro.
Yeah.
But he was saying that Jay beats fucking homie fucking the Demon beats Seth, right? Oh, actually, no. I'm messing up. You just left the screen and it fucked my whole world up. What happened?
No. I was just tying my shoe in my ridiculously expensive living room. Sorry about that.
Jay beats Roman, right? Roman goes on to WrestleMania and fights The Rock, right?
Okay.
Damian Priest beats Jay. And then fucking whatchamacallit, fucking this guy beats fucking Damian Priest in WrestleMania. Cody.
That was. I feel like I need a chart to kind of do that. That was like it's like you dropped a little quantum physics on me there real quick. I mean, look,
because Roman don't need the belt to go on WrestleMania next year, bro.
Because
there's a rumor Rock's coming around SummerSlam.
Well, I'd like to see that. I think especially too with the writer's strike, with the SAG strike and everything else, like all this stuff, like all these
got nothing to do.
Different guilds going on strike. It would be kind of cool for him to show up. I like his internet interaction with Grayson Waller. I thought that was really cool. I don't know, man.
What did he do? I didn't hear about that.
Well, Grayson Waller had tweeted something about The Rock, and The Rock had responded to him. And Grayson Waller says something.
Cooking?
Well, no, he does. But Grayson Waller says something to the effect like, "Oh, your corny '90s insults and blah 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 and all this stuff." I mean, look, if Rocky comes out and has a segment with Grayson Waller, it would be great. It would be really, really great. I think everybody would love to see The Rock. But this is what I think is cool about what you were saying as far as it goes with that other podcast. And shout out to them for doing their thing as well, too. It's provided people an opportunity to fantasy book this thing. It's made people wonder. It's made people intrigued. It's made people enjoy the program. And I think if you're a person who appreciates the business, who appreciates the old school elements of the business, you can see a very modern feel to what they're doing and a modern presentation to what they're doing, but it's still very, very, very old school in what they're doing. Yeah. And for me, I think that there is no other road for Roman than for Roman and Cody at WrestleMania 40 and him finishing the story.
You think
is
so?
It 40? Is it WrestleMania 40? Yeah, it is WrestleMania 40.
You think so? You think Cody really needs to be Roman? He just doesn't need just to beat someone who has the belt?
Nah. Cody needs to finish the story, dude. He needs.
But he hasn't been beefing with Roman. He's been getting his tail knocked out by Brock.
It's. I mean, it's kind of like Dusty and Flair, where Dusty lost, and then he beat him. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like they're kind of doing a similar story, and it's just like I think this is good because number one, it gives Cody an opportunity to work with different people. Okay, Cody's still super over, yo. The fans can say whatever the fuck they want online. The marks online, they're minority, bro. They're a minority part of the audience. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give Cody a big hug if I see him.
Cody's super fucking over, bro. Super fucking over. He's fucking printing merch. Okay. Let this guy do his thing. Let him fucking... I've enjoyed the stuff he's done with Brock. People are going to nitpick. They're going to talk shit, yo. But guess what? They're a big program that a lot of people are paying attention to.
50
it's
Cent.
working. It's working. 50 Cent, shout out.
Vitamin water.
But, it's like... I've enjoyed it. And I think that Cody's going to continue to go through his trials and tribulations, and then ultimately it's going to end up with Cody and Roman meeting each other again, and Cody getting that second opportunity to go for the title. And I think this time this program is just going to be so much better because now there's not going to be any bloodline. Maybe Solo might leave him by then. Yeah. Maybe Roman might be Solo. So... Either way, I think that's the ultimate end there. I think anybody else beating Roman, I'm not going to say that it would be bad, but I just feel like maybe it would be kind of uneventful. And I think Roman having this title so long is what's made this program so good, and has it's been what's made his title mean so much. You know what I'm saying? Think about this. What if he would have lost the title when people were bitching that Sammy should have won it? Okay, he loses the title to Sammy. Now what? Okay, Sammy's champ, but like Roman's Roman, but like, bro, the whole title thing is what makes it great. It's what makes him great. It's what makes him hated. It's what's gotten everybody over. It's the chase, exactly.
The chase.
So I think
not the payoff. It's the chase.
Right. So then what happened? What if they would have dropped it to Cody? Then what? You know what I'm saying? People would have turned on Cody. People would have been fickle with Cody already. It would have been over. You know what I'm saying? Like
he just came back from AEW and bought his way into the title picture.
Yeah, exactly. So look, at the end of the day, trust the people that are fucking doing it. They all got brains. It's proven. Triple H, the brain trust in the E. Vince McMahon. Everybody thinks is fucking out of his fucking gourd. Vince McMahon. Okay.
Oh, we'll get
fucking
to him.
genius.
We'll get to him after
genius.
This.
Fucking genius, bro. These people know what they're doing. They've made superstars over and over and over again, and they will continue to do so. And all the Mark shit that you got in your house, a lot of it are his properties, his ideas.
Either him or George Lucas.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. So, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, you know who else is trying to make a name for himself?
Who?
Santos Escobar going against Rey Mysterio.
I like Santos Escobar. I'm a fan. I like him and Ray going against each other.
He reminds me of Charlotte's husband with long hair.
Charlotte's husband has long hair.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
I'm not like
Yeah, I guess I could see a similarity.
Escobar
You know,
though,
I guess I could
isn't
see. I mean, Escobar. Here's the thing with Escobar that's really good is that Escobar speaks English very well.
Oh,
and
yes.
and I mean, look, man, communication's a big part of the job, man. And if you're wrestling predominantly in the United States, it's important that you as an immigrant have good control of the language. You know what I'm saying? Gunther
like when you
speaks
go-
the
look,
language well. They all speak
look-
the language well.
Look at I don't mean to bring him up now, but look at Kenny Omega. The motherfucker speaks Japanese like a mofo.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's impressive.
That helped
because-
him get big over there real time, you know?
That's impressive. And I also think too, I mean, because Kenny's stuff in New Japan was really good, man. His stuff in New Japan was really good. People could say whatever they want about him wrestling the blow up doll and the little girl and all that other shit, but
the homie can cut a promo in their language. If you can cut a promo in the country's language you're in, you're in.
it's gonna help you get over huge. More importantly, I think it's also gonna help you to be able
It's a
to
sign of
work.
respect too, man.
It's gonna be able to help you work better. You know what I'm saying? Because now there's not gonna be any gap in communication, and I think everybody's ideas are gonna be conveyed a little bit better. So you know, it is what it is. Yeah, man. I think that his ability to be able to master English has been really huge for him.
Well, he mastered a win
And-
over Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, so there was an injury apparently to Rey in this match, if I'm not
I think
mistaken.
Ray got. I think Ray got. What does it say? The Escobar versus Theory. Okay, blah blah blah. Disappointment was apparent on the face of Escobar, who will now. Okay, blah 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 blah. Rey Mysterio suffered an apparent injury that forced the referee. It doesn't say what injury, but it said he suffered an injury.
Yeah, it was his shoulder injury, if I recall correctly, and they had to take Ray out of the match and stuff like that. But I mean, all in all, man, I like what they're doing with
years
that.
old, right?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Ray, bro. Like
And
so much credit to him.
How could people
you
still
know?
be falling for the fucking trip onto the rope shit, man? After all these years,
It's amazing, dude.
Come on.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. And I mean, look, the guy might be a lousy father, but you know what? He's an amazing wrestler, and he's still giving back. And I think it's really cool that he's working with Santos. And
we all know
you know.
we all know we're fucking Dominic's real father.
of course, yo, R.I.P. But yeah, man. All in all, I like what they're doing with this dude, and I think that his command of the English language, the way he is. There was a video that kind of surfaced of him when they were down in Mexico City, working a show down there, and they had a meet and greet with Charlotte, Cody, and Santos. And there was a kid that was like, he was like crying a lot. He was like, and he picked him up, he took him over the barricade, he sat him on the apron, and he talked him up, and like it was so cool, man. And stuff like that. Let me tell you, man, that's a big thing, man. That's a big thing, dude. So
Karma's a bitch and karma's a blessing at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yep.
We're gonna see where he's gonna end up, but I think he's on a great trajectory, and he's
Well,
a
he's
dude
gonna
that's
be
talented.
going against your boy Theory at SummerSlam, which we'll be talking about this Wednesday, folks.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if the professor's back from his rendezvous with the beautiful hotness he's at.
Well, yeah, that's if he's if he's not detained, but
It's here nor there, brother.
well, I mean, it's difficult because you can't travel across borders being a weapon of mass disruption. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
this is true. This is
So
true. They probably have his
once
face
you
on
start
every
walking
fucking.
around with that.
They have his face on every
know?
screen. Watch out for this guy.
Yeah, exactly. They're telling everybody about it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man. I think it's cool. I think it's a good match. I know a lot of people are complaining because it should have been LA Knight in that spot and all that other stuff. And look, man, you're entitled to feel
LA
however
Knight's
you
got
want
his
to
own-
feel.
he's got his own
Everybody
trajectory,
has everybody has an emotional attachment, to the people that they like and stuff like that. And that's fine. But at the end of the day, I think LA Knight is over regardless. You know what I'm saying? He's a dude that the crowd is behind, and I think more importantly, because the crowd is behind him, you have a spot where you can put a guy like Escobar where
You know who
people
LA
are going to
Knight
be
looks
into
like?
that.
LA
Who?
Knight looks
Who
like.
does he look like?
He looks like Matt Cardona.
Wow, like Matt Cardona, like if he went into the future and came back, like Back to the Future, older Matt Cardona, not Matt Cardona as Matt Cardona.
Yeah. Like tough guy Matt Cardona.
What was that?
He's tough guy, Matt Cardona.
He's tough guy, Matt Cardona. But no, but regardless, the crowd's behind him, and they had that U.S. title match. They had that spot that people, I think, were a little bit invested in with him. And because of that, you're able to squeeze in a guy like Escobar, and now you're going to help get him over and put him in a spot with Theory where he's going to be, a big baby face going into it. And, people are still going to be invested in what they're doing with LA Knight, too, even if they're complaining about it.
LA Knight's beefing with the Hit Row guys, Ashante the Adonis.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's been going on since the Garden. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been going since the Garden. I'd love to hear, like, a conversation between LA Knight, Danzig, James Hetfield, and Macho Man. I think that would just be amazing,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, wait, you got to put in that dude, man, the fucking the southern fucking guy. What's his name?
Oh,
bro?
Lil Jon. Yeah. Yo, that would be amazing. Imagine
Somebody,
that.
please, it's out there in the ether. Make a video of that, man.
Yeah,
please.
somebody's got to make a video of that because that would be amazing.
Oh my god, that's so fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm digging it. I think this is cool, and I think it's a good spot for Escobar. There's also been a lot of rumors that have been kind of circulating online that WWE have been wanting to look for like a Latino champion, a Latino mid-carder. Absolutely. I mean, I was a big fan of Alberto Del Rio. I thought he was incredibly talented. I thought his command of the English language was good too when he communicated. And I also thought that, it was good for his character. Everything that he did was really good for his character.
His outside escapades.
I mean, it is what it is, man. They're human, man. We're all humans. We're all fucking whatever. We all got our shit. But, all in all, as a performer, though, Alberto Del Rio is excellent. And I think they've been looking for one, Absolutely. I mean, Ray's not going to last forever. The mask and the merch will live forever. Dom's not there yet. Dom's too young. But Dom is on a great path. And, I think Santos, with his command of the English language, his ties to, Ray, getting the Ray rub,
LWO.
I think that the LWO thing, I think that's good. The only thing I hope is that he doesn't turn on Ray because, like, I'm kind of tired of, like, people turning on Ray and having, like, this like, Eddie Guerrero-esque feud with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, with Dom, it worked. Because they had the whole match, and
you had
Dom,
to have the father and son. They always
yeah. I mean, I thought that was cool. Plus, you had the feud from back in the day between him and Eddie for custody of Dominic and all that stuff. So a lot of that stuff was like really good long-term storytelling that kind of came full circle, and I thought that was great. But I do hope that they do not turn Santos on him, at some point, because that would kind of be a bummer, and that would be like, oh man. So, keep him face, keep him as that strong, Latino baby face, get the LWO title, man. I think that would be really cool. And how funny would it be having a Mexican holding the U.S. title in America nowadays, huh? That's pretty cool.
That'd be fucking some irony right there.
But he did it the right way. So, but anyways, somebody's going to save that for their show on Monday. So,
well, LA Knight beat Ashante. I don't think we need to fucking beat that with a dead horse. That's some
that's
blah,
fine.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
You got Charlotte and Bianca versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. I think Charlotte, in my opinion, beautiful woman. Yeah. Beautiful woman. Not my cup of tea. Okay. I'm more of a Bailey guy, Me
too.
I'm more of a Bailey guy, I love Bailey.
Me too, man. She's
face first in front, bro. Bailey. Beautiful.
She's a babe.
I think Charlotte should put on a little bit of muscle mass. Charlotte should put on a little bit of muscle mass because she just like
Charlotte's super toned though. Yeah,
she's a string bean, dog.
Yo, but you know what though, dude? She looks like an Olympic athlete. Like she looks like an Olympian. Like she really looks.
Did you see the way her body was when she got the pin?
Yeah.
It just looked like, I'm like, bro, you need to put on some muscle mass.
Yeah, but she's toned though. That's I don't know, man. I don't think that's gonna suit her. Maybe she just doesn't want to look like that. You know what I'm saying? You know who I think really has a good balance between muscle and kind of like femininity and like beauty? Rhea, man. Rhea has just like, I think she's nailed it, And I mean, look, again, there's different flavors for everybody. For me, I think with the muscle mommies, I think like Rhea is just like perfect because Rhea is still so very beautiful and very feminine looking. But she's also very strong. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And she looks the part. So she's, to me, just a perfect balance of both, and a huge fan of Rhea. But it's I like where they're going with this. I like what they're doing. I like how they're using Bianca, Asuka, Charlotte, to kind of like build up something a little bit interesting there between the three of them, which is probably going to end up being a triple threat match, you would say.
Belair and Flair. That would have been a great tag team, Belair and Flair.
That's but I don't even know why they didn't even say that night. It kind of sucks because they should have kept them both faces up until that tag match, because that would have been kind of cool. But whatever, man. I think what they're doing is good. And Chelsea Green and Sonya, man, you got to give those two a shot.
What do you think about Matt Cardona coming out in Japan with the women's tag team?
I loved it. I loved it.
Bro.
So he shows up, right? He's competing for the DDT Universal Championship.
Yeah.
And he's there with Steph DeLander, the king and queen of the death match. And Matt Cardona.
Mad belt on him.
Matt Cardona was also one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. And then Steph DeLander said that she's one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And Matt Cardona then went on to win the Universal Championship. It was, I believe, challenged by Maki Ito. So that's going to be interesting. But you know what? That's very much in line with DDT and the kind of stuff that they do. But
they said this, bro. They said this. They were like, they asked somebody in the wings of the WWE. They were like, is this a problem, Matt Cardona having your title? Blah 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 blah. They were like, yeah, we got more important things to think about over here than Matt Cardona walking out with the women's tag team titles in a friggin' indie match.
Well, it was a replica, number one, and I think it was funny that he did that. I think it's cool, man. Let me tell you, I gotta say, like, Matt Cardona, out of a lot of the guys that left WWE, I think he's quietly had a very, very, very successful career.
Very lucrative.
Successful. Because you could see that not only is he doing stuff that he likes, but he's doing it fucking well.
Do you watch his YouTube thing, bro? Where he goes and he meets that guy named Gabby in the back, and where they have all the where you store your fucking where you store your clothes and all that stuff. And that guy opens up a thing and he's got everything WWE, bro. Any kind of wrestling figure, belt. He's like, I got you, pa. I got you. Like a Puerto Rican dude living in Florida, bro. I got you, pa. What do you need, pa?
He works with this guy, Michael Canick. And Michael Canick, his brother, Chris Canick, I went to high school with him. And Chris Canick was a big-time backyard wrestler. He's an entrepreneur. He started up Smart Cups. I think he's actually on this program with Gordon Ramsay right now too.
Did he ever fight? What's his name? Street Tough.
Street Tough Murph Gunderson, the last legitimate barroom tough guys.
What was his? What was his on the burglar or the barber?
Crowbar.
Crowbar. There you go. Crowbar.
Yeah. Apparently, he's getting his cymbals broken by somebody with a crowbar. Who knows? I don't know.
He better bust out that crowbar.
I don't know what's going on, but somebody's breaking his cymbals, if you catch my drift. And yeah. So getting back to Chris Canick. Chris Canick was a backyard wrestler from around here back in the day. They're both guys from Union City. And Michael, his brother, works with Matt Cardona, works with the Major Figures podcast.
Oh, man, yeah. I love that fucking show.
And him, Myers, what's his name? I was going to call him Gabriel Myers.
No, Brian Myers.
Brian Myers, yeah.
And Smart Mark Sterling.
Yeah, the Edgeheads. So those guys, man, they're doing really well for themselves. And Cardona, man, like he's consistently in really cool shit. He's doing really cool shit with his character.
Yeah,
you gotta fucking give it to the guy, man.
He already said if he comes back to the E, he said Zack Ryder's dead. He's Matt Cardona.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think with what he's done with this character, there's no fucking need to bring back Zack Ryder. No. You can just have him be Matt Cardona because he's shown a lot of diversity in his character and what he's able to do, and all this stuff delivers. He can go in the ring. He's still got the look. Yeah. I loved when he had Chelsea with him before Chelsea went back to the E. And,
somebody's got to pay the bills,
too.
Dog.
Absolutely. They're both paying the bills, man. They're both fucking working and doing their thing. And Steph DeLander's another young talent that's like really doing really cool shit with them too, man.
You see Chelsea Green puts in her promos about her about Zach's wrestling figure collection. He's like, who else has a room filled with wrestling figures. That's what do you call that? That's insured. You know, so
Yeah.
it's like my insured wrestling room, some shit like that, man. But she's putting over the figures and everything too in her promos.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, man. It's cool, man, and I like to see what's going on with them. And Chelsea Green is really fucking talented.
Yep.
It's really cool to see what she's done, how far she's come, how she's come back. And she's a character that I think developed really organically with the audience. You know, her Karen shtick is really awesome. And yeah, man, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I dig it, and I like these 4 women involved in this match, and I thought it was good, man. I thought they delivered. I thought they accelerated whatever they needed to accelerate in terms of their collective storylines.
So Charlotte,
And it was good
Charlotte
shit.
stole the pin from Belair.
Mm-hmm.
She pulled the old tag the shoulder routine when she had her up in that move.
Oh,
Came in.
yeah. I was gonna call it the TKO. I forgot what the fuck it's called. Her move.
I don't.
But yeah, the torture rack into the fucking sit out face buster.
Yes.
There you go.
Charlotte stole the win, you know, and then brushed her off.
Yeah.
That's the queen has to do.
But that's cool, man. They're setting up the heat, and you know what? It's cool because she's working with another one of the 4 horsewomen. Bianca Belair is just so fucking good, man. Really talented. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on here with her. And Asuka's just fucking great too. So I mean, this is cool. And you know, you don't even have to be a fan of women's wrestling to even appreciate this, because there's some people that they don't really like women's wrestling, you know. But these women are so talented and they're so good. And I think that what they do is so good that they turn people into fans of women's wrestling because of it. So,
well,
yeah,
you know
man.
who's talented and is not turning the fans? It's Karrion Kross. Fans aren't feeling him, bro. I don't think so.
He's another Puerto Rican, by the way.
He's a great
another
fucking dude.
Half Puerto Rican too, man. That's crazy. He's a really talented guy. I think that he's just on his journey to finding that thing that works for him. That really, 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 like, just, I don't know, like, you know, just
he had
catches
it in NXT,
on.
man. He had it, bro. I don't know why. They didn't bring up the woman.
It's a different, but it's a different thing. I mean, look, we could all sit here and argue what they should have done or what they didn't do or what they could have booked or whatever. Whatever. We could do that till we're blue in the face. But the reality is that this is the situation that he's in now. He's got her now. He's changing his look. He's growing his hair.
Yeah,
I like him a lot, man. I like him a lot. And it's not just the Rican thing. I like him a lot.
He defeated the Machine Gun. Carl
Yeah.
Anderson.
Yeah. I mean, they're pushing that thing with him and AJ. I think it's cool. I think they, you know, like, it's good, but I don't know, man. Just there's something missing there. Like it's just there's not, that thing's just not there yet. And I think that he's very talented, and I think that the more he continues to like plug away, and I think the more he taps into his creativity, I think he's eventually gonna find his spot, man. Because the guy's talented. I did think at one point his look was a tad generic. You know, with the shaved head, the shooter thing, you know, the stuff like that. I did think that it was a little, it was a tad generic.
When he went back to the Indies, though, and he was doing that whole, like, you know, like witch doctor or whatever kind of like thing, you know, going into the cemeteries, and, you know, she's like the witch and this and that, you know, like,
it was cool.
He's a warlock.
It was cool, and I think that's what they're trying to do now. But again, it's just a matter of like
you remember when that tag team was in NXT, bro, and they were doing like kind of like the vampire gimmick until they came up to the main roster and they just tried to make them like a Road Warriors clone.
Oh, are you talking about the Ascension?
Yes, when they were the vampire gimmick in NXT, man, they were dope.
You know what though, man? There's like a Road Warrior curse. Like any team that gets dubbed like the next Road Warriors, for whatever reason, they just do not work out. And they're certainly like on that list of
casualties.
Already
had that happen. The Ascension and what was the other tag team?
The Viking Raiders too, man. They kind of put it on them. They remember when they were the Viking Experience, and then they went back to being the
tag team with Paul
the War Raiders. Who
was that tag team that came up with Paul Ellery?
Paul Ellering?
Remember the big dudes from Europe?
Yeah. Son of a
the
biscuit,
Authors
man.
of Pain.
Authors of Pain. The Authors of Pain. Yeah. They look like the Hit Squad.
Warriors.
That's who they look like. They look like the
They
Hit
should have
Squad.
been a Hit
the
Row,
OG.
bro. They should have been like a part of Hit Row.
It's, I mean, again, man, they really try to push that Road Warriors thing, and it's crazy, man. But like nobody, Uribe says that Demolition kind of did succeed, and I agree with that. I think Demolition did succeed, but I just think Demolition was kind of also uniquely its own thing for as much as it was similar to the Road Warriors.
Well, speaking of Road Warriors, though, Draws passed away.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we spoke about that.
I don't think we did either. Really sad to hear about Darren Drozdow's passing, and really unfortunate.
Did you ever meet him in any of the indie shows or anything like that?
No, I never came across Droz. D'Lo I did see though a couple times, and D'Lo was cool. D'Lo was also involved in that unfortunate accident, and I think Droz, his mentality after that, him and D'Lo, just it was really nice to see them communicate and talk about it and like
D'Lo
be friendly.
Said he never stopped talking to him after that. That was it.
Of course not, man. Of course not, man. And again, accidents happen, folks. These guys, they're not wind-up toys in that ring, man. They're human beings.
And the evil WWE took care of his fucking medical bills for life. The evil WWE.
There's a lot of things that they've done that people do not know about. And it's the right thing to do, for as much as Marks might want to criticize WWE, for as much as people might want to criticize Vince McMahon, there's a lot of things that he and the company privately do to help a lot of the former talent, whether it's paying for rehab or various other expenses.
X-Pac was in rehab. X-Pac and Scott Hall were in rehab like 20 times.
Yeah, I mean, they battled with addiction, but there's a lot of good that they do that people I don't think really know about. They don't really know about. But Karrion Kross, I'm hoping to see something coming from him and what he's doing. I believe in the guy. I think he's a mess. I don't even say it's so much that. Again, I wasn't always his biggest fan.
Him and Damian Priest, you're like top 10.
But
you got an LWO shirt under there, bro. Just fucking say it.
No. I got to get that Puerto Rican one though, definitely. But he with him, man, he's so good at what he does, man. Like, he's a good worker. His ring positioning, like his striking, his whole shtick, like, he's good. I just don't think he's caught on with something yet to kind of put him in that category. But yeah, I agree. I think he'll get there. He's got a great presentation, and he's got Scarlett. She's a smoke show, literally. And sooner or later, something's gonna happen for him. But I'd like to see another match, hopefully between him and AJ, and maybe even at SummerSlam. We'll see.
And we got the final match. We got Jey Uso versus who's Grayson Waller. Trying to be The Rock.
Grayson Waller is really fucking good, and Grayson Waller.
Where did he pop up? How come he's never been on my radar?
Because he was in NXT for a while, And if you watch NXT. Like now, not like old NXT. I'm talking about like now. You're not gonna really fucking see him, but he's a dude who's really fucking talented. He could cut a promo. He could work, and he does the MJF kind of shtick without like the cheap heat or like without the cussing or any of that other stuff. Like you can kind of sell him to a broader audience, and he's taller. MJF is a more talented wrestler.
He's like Gunther tall, bro. He's like fucking 6'5".
He's a tall dude. And he knows what he's doing. And to me, when I see him, I kind of see the heir apparent to the Miz. That's what I see. Like the guy that's gonna be in that Miz kind of role, that character kind of spot. And
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Miz was a heavyweight champion, bro.
Grayson Waller could be heavyweight champion. You never know. Anything's possible. I think at the beginning of the Miz's career, nobody really had him penciled in for any of that.
Yeah,
and
this is true.
I think Grayson Waller now at this stage, in his career is a lot further ahead than where the Miz was at, this point, But yeah, man, great match between him and Main Event Jay. They set up the whole thing. Main Event
Jay pinned his ass, man.
Yeah, man, they set it up really, really well. Hit the big splash off the top. They had the whole, spot at the end. Roman was sitting ringside with Heyman and with Solo. He hits a spear on Roman. Place fucking comes unglued. I mean, just really good stuff, man. You know, I think he caught a beatdown too as well, but
Yeah.
just really, really good shit, man. And just gearing towards that big go home show this week. I mean, you know, we got to go home Raw tomorrow night. It's going to be fantastic. And I just really think right now, as it stands, that WWE is just firing on all cylinders. And it's going to be really good stuff, you know?
Oh, well, right before we get into our main topic, we'd like to hear your discussion about what do you think about Vince McMahon getting spinal surgery this week, dude?
Yeah, man. Look, man. I mean, I'm a very big fan of the GOAT, Vince McMahon. And you know, I think as a guy who's contributed immensely to the business and is quite literally the reason why we still have a business.
He made the business the way it is today.
We
It's the blueprint.
We wouldn't be doing this right now. We'd probably be talking about some other shit right now instead of wrestling. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I think Vince does not get his fucking flowers enough. You know, everybody wants to look at the bad shit that he's done, but nobody wants to look at the good shit that he's done. And I just think that Vince McMahon is incredibly important to the history of the business. And, you know, it's crazy to see that, you know, he's getting this kind of spinal surgery now. I can only imagine that his body's probably pretty beat up. You know, he did take some pretty crazy bumps in his wrestling days. And Vince was always down to take, you know, an ugly stunner. So
You never heard,
you know,
like you never really hear of Vince McMahon going into, like, surgery. Except, like,
Well,
with the quad thing. That was it. That was the last time I heard of surgery for him was the quads.
I don't think Vince wants to reveal that he's in pain. I don't think Vince wants to show any of that. You know, I think Vince wants to show that he's okay no matter what, even if he's
Smart
not.
man.
You know, and that's what it is. But you know, I'm a big fan of Mr. McMahon.
I hope he still has the mustache.
I hope he still has the mustache too. You know, I have this mustache because of
Vince McMahon went Puerto
so.
Rican, bro. Once he got that mustache.
Yeah, yo. He's doing his thing, man. He's doing his thing. He got a girlfriend and everything too. You know what I'm saying?
He's pulling a Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, yo. So, but all the best to Vince, man. All the best to the GOAT, and I hope he feels better soon. And yeah, you know, I'm sure there's gonna be marks out there that are gonna say like, oh, they just made up that he's having spinal surgery just so that they could throw people off because he's secretly backstage rewriting every single program and taking this person or that person off TV, and he's the reason why LA Knight isn't doing this.
Exactly.
That's what it's gonna turn into. So,
Exactly.
All the best to Mr. McMahon.
Well, let's get into this week's topic right here. It's what's in the bag. And we saw CM Punk pull out what's in the bag, and he kind of like spray painted it NWO style to make it look like an NXT title. But really, it's just you know, it's the X for straight edge.
Yeah.
But I still say it's the NXT title.
Yeah.
And he had Ricky Starks. I'm gonna call him Tony Starks.
I think you called him John Starks too.
John Starks. He looks like John Starks, dude.
He looks like he kind of reminds me of The Rock a little bit too. You know, he's kind of getting a little bit of that LA Knight heat.
He's doing the little rhyme scheme with his promos.
Yeah, he's doing the rhyme scheme thing. He also oddly reminds me of Harry Connick Jr. in Independence Day. I don't know why, but
Oh my god.
I can't really put my finger on that. But yeah, like that's just kind of what I see when I look at him. Look, man, he's a confident speaker, man. He's
going up against one of the best.
He certainly is. He goes out there, you know, and he's ballsy, dude. And you got to go for it when you're out there with Punk. You can't be fucking afraid. You got like this is your moment, bro. This is your chance. You're like, for better or worse, CM Punk gets attention. You know
Like
what I'm saying?
Eminem said, bro, if you have one chance, one opportunity.
Yeah. Slim Shady walking out Terrence Bud Crawford out to the ring yesterday when he took on Errol Spence and defeated him in the 9th round in a boxing match.
Well, you know why Shady
what a
called
great
that
display.
Win. Shady
Well,
called the win.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, dude, you know, I think anybody who knows boxing knew Bud Crawford was going to win, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's no offense to Errol Spence. He's a very skilled boxer, but really cool to see that match, man, and just absolute fucking clinic from Crawford. So, you know, I enjoyed the fuck out of it as a boxing fan. But, yeah, man.
So now, what do you? How did you when you heard about this? What's in the bag thing? Did you think Punk was going to pull out the AEW title?
Yeah, I knew that because he had mentioned that I think some weeks back when he came out with the bag. When he came back from suspension, he came out with the bag in his boots, and he cut this promo and he mentioned that the fucking belt was in the bag.
Do you think it's about time that he's displaying that he is the Collision heavyweight champion? Since MJF's over here playing patty cake with Adam Cole on Dynamite,
I think that either way, it's taking
he's not living
a guy.
up to it. He's not living up to a heavyweight champion. I'm sorry, MJF is he's a paper champion.
I haven't been a fan of his title reign. I'll be honest, man. I think he had a great match with Danielson.
Wizzik.
I think he had a great match with Danielson, but that's also like saying the sun's gonna rise tomorrow.
Of course, Danielson can have a fucking great match with a box.
Yeah. There's like, come on. MJF was fantastic in that match, though. Don't get me wrong, but I would have to say that that's been the best match of his reign thus far. Punk is a guy that, for better or worse, gets a lot of attention. He's a guy that people like. People like him. You know what I'm saying?
Punk.
People fucking hate him. I like
got the New Jersey pass, bro. He's married to AJ Lee. He's got the New Jersey pass.
Absolutely. Union City pass too, as well.
There you go.
And Hudson County pass, but
he's a scumbag. I heard, bro. He's a Hudson County scumbag member.
He's an honorary member of the Hudson County Scumbags. And Punk, whenever you want, man, we got your shirt.
Yo, we need you on the pool team, Punk.
Yeah. Cult of Personality comes out. He comes on. I'm like, what the fuck? The other pool team's like, wait a minute. I didn't sign up for this shit. But
That's a good one.
Yeah, he's a guy that gets a lot of attention. People care about him. They're into him. He's got a great fan base. I enjoy his stuff. Yeah. I think as a character, he's amazing. And for me, he's the best talker of his generation. I mean, he's amazing. He's amazing.
He's the Rock. He's the John Cena. He's
Roddy Piper.
Cold.
He's got
Piper.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of all that. He's got a little Terry Funk in him too. He's got a little bit of everything.
WWE needs to put out on Peacock, which Fernando needs to get a fucking better subscription so he doesn't get any commercials.
Facts, yo. Thank you.
They need to put out a top 10 talkers. They never put out a top 10 top 10 mic droppers or whatever,
I don't know though if he's gonna get his fucking props just yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're gonna do that. I'd like to hope that they did, because you'd have to be fucking completely oblivious not to do that, because the guy's just been,
they still got his documentary on the fucking channel.
He's amazing, dude. He's fucking amazing. He's a great character. For better or worse, people love him. People hate him. But people pay attention to him. Uh-oh. Dee's doing something. He's got the Work in the Marks background going. He's obviously not in a ridiculously expensive home like I am right now. This is my vacation estate. I'll have all of you know.
Best in the world, motherfucker.
There you go. Look at that. The digital video disc. You got the digital video disc.
There we go, babies.
He, even when I met him back in the day, like 20 years ago, okay, that dude, he got people's attention. He got people to notice. He got people to care. And he made himself important everywhere he went, through his actions, through his talking, through everything that he does. He's always been great. And he's a dude that if you got him in your company.
He made Jeff Hardy reach for his shit.
I think he's just done a lot of great work with a lot of people. His run in AEW has been a little meh, but he's making the most of it, and I think Ricky Starks isn't the worst guy for him to work with.
He's just making money there, bro. That's all he's making. He ain't making memories.
Yeah. I like that he spray painted the X on the title. I think that's cool. that
goes with him, but I'm also too. It's got to be. He's probably thought in his head NXT. He had to have thought of that.
The gangsters did it originally, but shout out to New Jack and Mustafa.
God rest your soul, New Jack.
But I mean, I think it's interesting. That's more merch you can sell now too. You got to think about that as well. Now you're gonna sell fucking titles with an X on it.
The E will fucking come out with a lawsuit. You put out an X on the belt. They'll be like, whoa.
I don't
You got
know,
that
man.
Shit claused up, dog.
I don't know, yo, because you know what? You can make money off that fucking title, dude. They sell the hardcore title, and that's basically the smashed winged eagle title.
What's that? That's New Jersey right there. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That's the geographical armpit of the U.S. But you know, it's a smart
what title
move.
Did you say? What title did you say they sell?
The hardcore title.
Who? AEW?
No, WWE. They sell a
Oh.
hardcore. They sell a hardcore title, and it's basically the smashed winged eagle title. So I mean,
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
what's
bro,
an X over their main title if you're gonna
It's-
make fucking money off of that? You
it's
know,
NXT, bro.
it basically looks like the NXT title because of that. But I like it, and to me, it's a subtle little thing that I think the fans can run with too, because he put an X over the E, which the E in AEW stands for elite. The elite.
even picture that.
The,
That was a
yeah.
Yes.
That's nice, right? Surprise, motherfucker. You know. But you know that was really cool, and they set up the match for next week, which will be going head to head against SummerSlam, I guess you could say.
Now, Punk said he alluded to it. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but he was saying that maybe Punk will be at Wembley for 80,000 people.
He's gonna be there. Come on, man. You got this guy walking around saying that he's the real world champion. Okay, he put the X over the title.
I
The
love
whole
him, but he's
shtick.
doing
All right?
some WWE shit right there.
That's some old school shit that's been done before, you know, by a couple people. You know what I'm saying? But what I Harley Race, you know what I'm saying? Flair, you know what I'm saying? Like there's some guys that have done this shit, and I think that's cool. I think
Razor and Sean.
Yeah, you know, I think it's he even did it with fucking John Cena.
Yeah,
So
shit.
I think that it's cool that he's doing this, and I think it's good for their company because you've got a big guy that people fucking like and people want to see.
He's the biggest guy in the company next to fucking Jericho and Sting.
I mean, you'd have to say so. You'd have to say so. You know, he's proven it. He's drawn 1 million people. He's drawn the most people to the program. He's made the most money for them at Gates. He's done all that stuff. Who?
You know,
The Revival?
what? I'm trying to think of a good acronym.
I mean, look, man, like I've said this 1 million times on here, you know, and some people, they're big fans of them. I think they're a very talented team in the ring.
If they were good, they would have went
They're
back.
but I mean, look, man,
If they were wanted, they would have went back.
I think if they wanted to perhaps, you know, up the ante, yeah, they would have gone back. But who knows, man? Maybe this works better for their families. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I think it's kind of a shame that if these guys are considered the best tag team in the world, that they're not actually in the E competing against
You're not
the
the best
Usos,
tag
competing
team in the
against
world unless
those
you're
guys.
facing the Usos.
Yeah, I'm
Straight
sorry,
up.
but that's the truth. And you know, character-wise, they don't really do it for me. I'm not really interested in them. And you know, just being good wrestlers ain't enough for me. I'm sorry, bro. You know, I've watched enough fucking wrestling where like I've seen it. You know, they do good stuff. Like they had this great 1 hour match. Okay, wonderful. I'm not gonna fucking sit there and watch a 1 hour match. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Who's it against?
I'm not. I mean,
Who
it
was
was
it
against. It was against Juice and Jay White. And look, the match itself was good. But bro, I watched a little bit of it. Okay, and mind you, when I was watching it, because I was flipping between that and the Yankee game. Okay, and the Yankees were up like 6-0 in like the fucking third or some shit. They were fucking up. They were up early. Okay, up to the point where like in baseball, okay, it's gonna be a little fucking time before something happens here.
Yeah.
And I went and I switched over and I watched about 10-15 minutes of the fucking match. And dude, it's like, okay, y'all are working a fucking headlock takeover. You know?
Was it better than when they fought the Briscoes?
Nah. The shit with the Briscoes was great, but the shit with the Briscoes had a lot of fucking character from the Briscoes. I would say those are the best matches of their career. And look, again, these guys are good workers.
They fought. I'm gonna say they fought the second greatest tag team of all time.
I would say
Next
that
to
the
Usos.
I would say that the Briscoes, yeah, are in that conversation for sure, bro. You know, big time. Big fucking time.
Yep.
And those guys, they developed characters because, at one point that was the knock against them, that they were just wrestlers, that they're not fucking characters. And then those guys kind of found that character. They found that niche, and they were just themselves. They were themselves, and they organically got over. MJF.
What do they say, bro, in the business, bro? That you just got to be yourself, amped up to 1,000.
Yeah, exactly. You have to pump up the volume, so to speak. And I think with them, what they did, that's exactly what you have to do to get to that point. FTR, it's just kind of like, okay, you guys are good wrestlers, but like, what are you? You're the Brainbusters, you're the Midnight Express, like, what are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, which tag team are you today? The Heart Foundation?
Are they going to come out with
whoever you are?
Skateboards and be dynamic dudes?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then and MJF, man, that was hilarious where he did the FTR promo. He's like, you know, you look like a combination of Mr. Clean and Yosemite Sam. And he's like, oh, are you going to come out here and talk about the same thing? I love my wife. I love my child. I love this business. I've broken my body. Yo, like, just the way... It was hilarious, but it was so spot on. It was so spot on. And again, like, these guys, they work for that audience. They're good. Yeah. That shtick works for that audience because it's a very pro wrestling centric audience, right? But again, that's not going to appeal to a mass audience. It's just not. It's not, man. And for me, the big knock on them too, for me personally, is like, I don't think they're very original, man. Like, what are you? You're the Midnight Express. You're the Heart Foundation. Okay, like, you know, like you're the Brainbusters. You know, like, who are you? Who are you guys? You know, they're not very unique.
We'll break it down right here. They're Yoo-Hoo, and we're looking for Quick.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Yoo-Hoo's just as good.
Yeah.
But Quick's the shit.
Exactly.
You feel me? So, but, you know, they main evented the program. They main evented with MJF and with Adam Cole Babe. And, you know, it was a good match for what it was. You kind of had the feeling that MJF and Cole were going to lose, right? It was just a matter of how. And I think, you know, it worked out well. You kind of thought MJF was going to hit him with the title and whatever, and then they hugged. And, you know, again, for that audience, for that crowd, it works. They're invested in that. They like that shit. For me, I was kind of just like, meh. You know what I'm saying? I found the Punk segment to be a lot more exciting. I find Punk segments on the program to be the most interesting. Consistently. You know, FTR, like I said, very good tag team. If you like wrestling, if you like tag team wrestling, if you like, you know, old school shit, whatever, that's your team right there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to throw this out there, man. If they need to have their own tag team champions and have their own kind of IC champion and world champion, because if guys like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and shit are not going over the Collision, then you're a separate fucking brand. You need to separate that shit then.
I don't know, man.
Has Jericho been on Collision? Sting, Darby Allin?
Yeah. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me because the funny thing is like, we just saw recently in like the wrestling news that Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle patched up their beef. Okay, that they didn't like each other, but Matt Riddle talked to him, and now they get along. Now they're cool. You know what I'm saying?
When's Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins gonna patch up their beef?
They have no beef. That shit's a gimmick.
That's not what Cody says.
Oh, please. Yeah, and Cody's got a broken arm too. But you know, it's like look at that scenario. Okay, those two guys didn't like each other, but they understand. Like, yo, we worked well together and we did our thing together. And you're a top star in this company. Riddle probably said to himself, "Shit, I want to work with you again. I want to be in a big spot. I want to work for the fucking world title one day." Right? And what did he do? He squashed the beef. He went in and they dealt with it like fucking men and they moved on.
Exactly.
For whatever reason, there's just something that's like going on over there and it's still fucking petty. And look, I'm sure
in the WWE against boys in the AEW.
Bro, like, I gotta be honest though, man. I'm just fucking tired of it. And by the time they choose to ever fucking get to this program, if they do get to this program, I'm really not gonna be as interested. I'm sorry. I'm not.
No.
I'm not, man. And I think a good chunk of the wrestling audience are not going to be into it. You know, by now, AEW has been around long enough that we know that the people that like AEW, they like what they're getting there. And the numbers are indicative of that. Wrestling fans as a whole are not flocking to AEW. They've gotten their taste.
Not
even
decided
the normies.
What they like. The normies aren't going over there.
I just think people have seen enough of it at this point to determine whether they like it or not. And that's that. That's it. That's really what it boils down to at the end of the day. But of course, everything's got to get tribalistic online. Everything's got to get crazy online like it does with fucking everything else, whether it's sports, politics, you know, you name it. That's just the way it is. That's just the nature of the fucking beast. So, you know, as it stands, I got to say, like, Collision to me is a better program. It's a more fluid program, which I mentioned before while you were taking a shit. You know, it's a better program to watch. Dynamite kind of seems more important in a second. Excalibur sounding like the Micro Machines guy, like in comparison to Ian Riccaboni, who just sounds like an announcer, or Kevin Kelly, who sounds like an announcer, Nigel McGuinness, it just, I don't know, man. I just think that Punk segments are the best segments on Collision. Is Collision perfect? No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not very perfect. I didn't really dig on the Andrade fucking Buddy Murphy match. It's like, all right, whatever. Y'all are having a ladder match for a fucking mask? Okay. Okay, whatever. Y'all do your thing. Hey, look, like I said, it was good for what it was. It was good for what it was. It's good for that audience, right? They like that stuff. But those are two really fucking talented guys that should just be mixing it up and involving emotion with fucking less gimmicks. You know what I'm saying? Like tell a fucking story with these cats over a couple of weeks. Do something interesting so that people fucking care about tuning in to see these two really good fucking talents. Do that. Instead of, oh, he's fighting for the fucking mask. Okay.
Not gonna happen.
Great. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. But as far as Collision goes, I think Punk's the star of the show. I think it's a really smart move to put that title on him. And I'm really gonna be digging whatever he does with Ricky Starks. I'm sure they're gonna have a good match. Whether Punk can physically be the guy that he used to be fucking 11, 12 years ago, that's kind of up there. It depends, how he feels that day.
He could if they didn't have 4 people pissing and moaning, 5 people pissing and moaning about him.
You know what though? But it doesn't matter though. Even if he can't work that way. Even if he can't work that way, you were real subtle there. I think like even if he can't work physically the way he used to, his psychology, his storytelling, and him as a personality are enough to carry fucking anything.
Exactly.
It's enough to carry anything.
I want to see them go one more time. Put Jeff Hardy in Collision.
Why
Let him
not?
go after Punk.
I mean, hopefully, if Jeff is healthy enough, maybe. But
He wants
who
one more
knows?
shot. He wants one more shot at the brass ring.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But a big part of the match that was announced was because Ricky cheated and Punk called him a cheater. He
can't do that in wrestling.
He basically said we need a special guest referee here.
Oh yes,
we need somebody to step in to be law and order
from his
in this
past.
matchup for the real world championship.
And it mentions and Ricky Stark mentions Stanford. Ooh, he mentioned Stanford.
He mentioned
in his
Stanford.
promo.
He mentioned, you got to go back in your past because you ain't got no friends here. And
like that.
The man that is revealed to be the special guest referee for the Real World Championship match next week on AEW Collision will be none other than WWE Hall of Famer and legend of the business, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
See, but what's weird?
Pretty cool.
Love
Pretty
you,
fucking
Punk.
cool.
But
Pretty
you
cool.
have no lineage with Steamboat.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
He does?
Absolutely. He wrestled the matchup against Bryan Danielson, if I'm not mistaken, or somebody. I forgot who it was in Ring of Honor. But he wrestled the match in Ring of Honor where Ricky Steamboat was the special guest referee.
I thought he would have picked that guy that taught him how to wrestle. What's his name?
What? The guy that bit the young buck. Ace Steel? Yo,
Yes.
that's a real G, dude.
I thought he would have picked Ace Steel, bro, to be like, that's his man that's got his back.
That is a real G, dude. Like that's a homeboy. That's a real homeboy right there. Like, yo, I'll
Chicago
bite some.
made, isn't Ace Steel Chicago made?
Oh yeah. I'll bite somebody for you.
Fuck with him, dude. He pulled a Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. All right, Ricky Steamboat. I gotta say though, D. I mean, for a show that is on a Saturday night, they already got their back against the wall.
Because it's a SummerSlam, dog.
Yeah, you're running up against SummerSlam. That's gonna be a tough one.
Steamboat and Punk are not gonna fucking make you turn against SummerSlam. I'm sorry.
I think that there's a mentality, there's a belief amongst maybe like the more hardcore fans that people are gonna tune in live to watch that instead of watching SummerSlam live. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that, like, that's a hard sell, man, because I got to say SummerSlam's the bigger show. So
I don't own cable, so I'll be watching SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, like, I'm probably going to be watching SummerSlam. But I'll check that match out later on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll
I think
check it
that's
on the little YouTube clips.
Yeah, I'll DVR that shit, you know, because I do have streaming for that, but I'll DVR it, and I'm gonna be watching SummerSlam, you know, but it's I just don't think it's enough, man, especially going up against the marquee event. And you got to think about this too. If you're a wrestling fan, what are you gonna watch? Okay, you could try and watch both. You could watch both if you want, right? There's gonna be people who are gonna there's gonna be people double screening it, no big deal. But I just think that a vast majority of people, because of the importance of SummerSlam, are going to be watching SummerSlam. Plus, think about this, all right? The Rock. What if they know, this is going to be the main event of this program, okay?
Jey Uso's fighting Roman, period.
What if at 10 o'clock, at the 10 o'clock hour, right? Or close to the 10 o'clock hour. You want to say like 9:45 maybe? Because they're probably going to have this match like as the main event of the show. Yeah. But you got to think that if they do that, what if they bring out The Rock at SummerSlam, bro?
Well, because Vince is gonna probably have them on fucking TV going, "Rock, go now."
Well, I think it'll be Paul, and probably Triple H will be there. I mean, Vince will be there.
Oh, that's right.
If he's healthy, if he's healthy.
He'll be on the phone.
Yeah. I mean, so we'll see.
Imagine if Triple H has to walk around with Vince on the camera phone the whole time. Like, what's going on there, pal? What's going on over there?
That'd be kind of funny, but I would not be surprised if they pull something off like that. So all in all, just to kind of round out my thoughts here and close my thoughts here for you on this main event topic.
Over here, buddy.
Yeah, man. We've done 2 Iron Man matches. As far as this goes, and as far as Collision is concerned, I think it's a good thing to put this title on Punk. His segments easily stand out the most on the show. Yeah. Are they the best that we've seen of him? No, but I think that he has the most compelling stuff because of his strength and character.
Better than Dynamite.
Absolutely. And the fact that he's working with this young talent who gets it and can actually go. So
he's finally doing something that the other people should be doing, putting a young talent.
Yeah. I think he's done it in a way where he's worked with them, but I just think that like they did that when he came back, and I just thought that was like a shitty time to do that because this anticipation is been just so high for him to return. It's 7-8 years. He comes back. It's this amazing fucking hero's welcome, the biggest number on AEW television that they've yet to break since then. Yeah. And you have him wrestle Lee Moriarty and fucking Darby. I was like, what?
Yeah,
are you
Darby
kidding
Allin
me?
Shit was bullshit.
I mean, like, I have no problem with them wrestling each other later on, but like, bro, have them come out and do something hot. Have them come out and do something big. Like, you got fucking CM Punk. Like, this is one of the last guys like,
you got
out there.
Jericho, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks are scared of him because they know he can outshine them.
I think that is
on the mic and in the ring.
I think that is the case. I mean, I would say physically, Kenny and the Bucks can go like more athletically than
outshine, but he would outshine him. Just his presence alone.
Punk's personality.
It's like having Jesus in the ring, bro.
Punk's personality is huge. His talking ability is huge. His character work is great, and his work is good. But these guys, I think, are just they got that extra pep in the step. You know what I'm saying?
Because they're younger.
Yeah. Punk's 44, I think, or 45. You know what I mean? Like, it happens. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that this guy at his age is still able to get people as interested in him as they used to be.
At his age, he got people scared to get in the ring with him.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's. I think it's crummy, and I think it's a disservice to the fans. And even if they end up doing it at All In or All Out or fucking whatever the fuck, it's too fucking late already, bro. Honestly, it's too late.
Well, Paul Heyman said this podcast is a Paul Heyman podcast.
That's very thoughtful.
It says it on the bottom. It's true.
That's very thoughtful of Paul Heyman. We appreciate you, Paul. We appreciate you. Even with the bounce check, we still appreciate you.
We are a Paul Heyman podcast.
We are certainly a Paul, and that is obviously the wrong spelling of Paul Heyman, but that's fine.
He was on some stuff, bro. He was writing that.
Typo, he's probably eating some tribal beef, and it just happened. But D, it's been great being here with you.
Yes, sir.
What do we have any more segments left at all, or is this like the last segment of the program?
That was the last segment. Well, we will be back this Wednesday with the SummerSlam 2023 prediction show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully the professor's back with us. Safe travels to you wherever you are, Professor. And look forward to being back on the program here. D, it's been real. It's been a minute, and I always enjoy these moments outside of our Turnbuckle in Time stuff, which, by the way, folks, check out Turnbuckle in Time. It's popping out there. It's me and D just reviewing classic wrestling matches. Feel free to drop us a couple of suggestions in the comments.
Who knows? Maybe
send us a message.
Maybe we'll do Punk versus John Cena in Chicago.
That's a classic. That's a great one. So feel free to drop us a message and tell us what matches you want us to check out, and we'll certainly add our commentary to it, and we appreciate any type of interaction that we get here on Working the Marks. So please feel free.
Exactly. Now make sure you guys go out there and like and subscribe. Working the Marks. Just like the video. Subscribe to everything. Subscribe to all the things Famcast Media. Subscribe to Mr. Uribe's Weapon of Mass Disruption podcast over there. Don't know the name of it, but you'll know where to find them. It's in the description below. All the necessary gimmicks. And Mr. Durag Rican, the star of the show. It was very wonderful working with you today. God bless you.
Thank you so much. I'm glad that you recognize the fact that you're working with the star of the show, because the other guy that's not the star on the show is fucking off somewhere. I don't know where where in the world is Fernando Uribe. So
exactly,
we already know that much. But do you mind if I close out the show? Because I got to do the gimmick. I got to do the gimmick. D, thank you so much for everything that you do for us here. Check out D's podcasts as well. D, you want to plug your podcast before we go here? All the shows in the Famcast Media Network here.
Yes, sir. You can watch me on Fun the Dungeon podcast every night from 8 to 9 with Johnny Riffs, and from 12 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock in the morning on Mondays with Mark Bernardo.
No way! Wow,
yes,
Mark.
Wow. We do two podcasts in one day. 8 to 9 is with Johnny Riffs, and then midnight to 1 in the mornings with Mark Bernardo.
That's like CM Punk coming back. Mark Bernardo coming back from the dungeon. That's fucking huge.
He's killing it, man. And then on Tuesdays, I think this Tuesday maybe we're gonna do another one at Lucky 13 Saloon with Jeff. I don't know if he's out doing his thing, just summertime. Jeff's having a good time, bro, and I don't blame him. So maybe this Tuesday we'll come back with some Lucky 13 Saloon. Make sure you check out Pigs Radio, Mario 81 every Sunday, 11:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check them out. They always have some good bands on there. There's some good banter. And yeah, man, anybody else, if I missed you, make sure you just go to the Famcast Media page. Rat Talk's coming back. We just re-uploaded Hit the Mics with Ryan D. We just re-uploaded episodes of Humpcast. They're all over the Apple. They're all over the Spreaker. Just check it out, man. We're everywhere, bro.
Well, you're here to hear, folks. Check out everything available on Famcast Media, along with Working the Marks. It's incredible that I've been hanging out here in my living room of my vacation resort at 9:19 p.m. and it's not dark outside, even though it is on the East Coast. But
I think you're in Alaska.
It's, I'm at an undisclosed location. I don't really like to talk about it, but even though I'm on vacation, I'm still here. I'm still here for you fans on Working the Marks. He's Dee Rotten, the undisputed podcasting champion. I'm Patty Rican, the star of the show. And every week, every time we come on here on Famcast Media, we are working the marks. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Famcast Media.